The written history of North Elba and Lake Placid began with the arrival of the Bennett family. Elijah Bennett was a veteran of the Revolutionary War who was wounded at the Battle of Bunker Hill. He settled on a plot of land he was granted for his military service near the Chub River.
By 1810, log cabins for about 200 pioneers inhabited a widely scattered community known as the Plains of Abraham. That same year, the Chub River was dammed and the Elba ironworks were constructed on the lower pond. The farm community prospered because of the fertile ground and the ready market for the products created by the mill. Growth continued until 1816, when calamity struck. The low-grade iron ore of the area could not compete with the other new discoveries, and the ironworks closed down. A bitterly cold winter was followed by a 20-inch snowfall in June. Then a killing frost in August wiped out the crops. This, the year without a summer, forced most of the residents to leave. Only the Osgood family remained behind. Soon, however, settlers trickled back to the Plains of Abraham. The Nash family arrived, and they were soon followed by the Brewster, Blinn, Peacock, Merrill, Wood, and Parkhurst families. These pioneers and their descendants are the grassroots of the area.
A new wave of immigration was created by Garrett Smith's offer of land for sale. He had just inherited from his father, who was a land speculator, most of what is now known as the town of North Elba. His plans also included the humanitarian gesture of giving away over 400 plots of land to free black residents of New York. At that time, the abolitionist John Brown moved into the area, hoping to teach those black families good farming practices. His subsequent trial, hanging, and burial after the Harper's Ferry incident in 1859 provided North Elba considerable notoriety. His farm and grave site, just outside the village of Lake Placid, is a National Historic Landmark. Benjamin Brewster bought one of Smith's tracts of land on what was then known as Brewster's Pond. It is now referred to as Mirror Lake. He built a farmhouse on the site of the present High Peaks Resort, soon enlarged it, and then turned the Red House into an inn.
As the Industrial Revolution took hold in the late 1800s, the wilderness experience was romanticized. The rich and well-known flocked to the Adirondacks. They used hotels such as the Lake Placid Inn, the Excelsior House, the Stevens House, the Grand View, and the Lakeside Inn as a base of operations before heading into the woods with the famous Adirondack guides. Camps started springing up on the shores of Lake Placid Lake, and the area around Mirror Lake continued to thrive. Melville Dewey, the inventor of the Dewey Decimal System, founded the Lake Placid Club as a summer resort. In 1900, the village of Lake Placid was incorporated. With its 7 major hotels, bustling Main Street, 4 churches, public library, and golf courses, it soon became nationally recognized as a summer resort.
In 1904, Melville Dewey decided to experiment and kept the Lake Placid Club open all winter long. He purchased 40 pairs of skis from Norway and invited the club members to have fun skiing, tobogganing, snowshoeing, and skating. Winter sports had arrived. In 1928, Dewey's son Godfrey sold the village and town fathers on the idea of bidding for the Olympics. He sailed to France and brought back the right to host the 3rd Olympic Winter Games. The 1932 Olympics in Lake Placid, held in the middle of the Great Depression, were a huge success. Local athletes distinguished themselves. The Stevens brothers won the gold medal in bobsledding, and Jack Shea won 2 gold medals in speed skating. Lake Placid was now the home of champions. After those winter games, Lake Placid became a training ground for figure skaters. Instructors such as Gus Lucy and Howard Nicholson produced many national and world notables. The skating club also started the traditions of crowning a king and queen of winter and summer skating shows, which still continue today.
World War II turned Lake Placid into a training ground for the ski troops. When peace arrived, skiing became the popular winter sport, which led to the opening of Whiteface Mountain. The post-war boom brought many changes to the area. The old wooden hotels began to vanish. Vacation patterns changed. Fewer visitors now came for an entire summer. Lake Placid, once exclusively for the rich and famous, now attracted all manner of guests as general prosperity spread. The community continued to dream of holding another Winter Olympics. Groups prepared bids for all the games scheduled from 1956 through 1976, but these bids were bypassed. Finally, in 1974, a delegation traveled to Vienna and won the prize. The 1980 Olympic Winter Games were awarded to Lake Placid.
Since those games, the area seems to have been revitalized and reinvented. An enormous building boom has created a variety of new housing. Main Street, once the habitat of groceries, pharmacies, and gas stations, is now given over almost entirely to specialty shops and boutiques for the visitor. Major competitions of national and world status continue. These include the Empire State Winter Games, the Winter Goodwill Games, numerous World Championships and World Cup events, along with the Ironman Triathlon. It has been a long and eventful journey from the little wilderness outpost known as the Plains of Abraham to the world-class village of Lake Placid and the town of North Elba.